Hi, in this lesson, we are going to learn how to link our Visual Studio to MySQL database. So these are things we'll be storing into the database. So let's go ahead to launch XAMPP. So let's launch it as administrator. Let's run as administrator. So after running as administrator, we click here, yes, then MySQL to the same thing. Yes, this will help us to be able to run automatic at any time. Anytime we launch, we can just go ahead to use the visual the example. So let's close. But mind you, we have started everything before closing. So after closing, let's try and see whether it is working. So by typing localhost inside the browser and see what we are going to get. So meaning it is working perfectly. So anytime we just have to launch our browser and type localhost and to open my PHP my admin, which is the um, database. So we are creating a database. So we say create database, and what name am I giving to the database? GAF. Okay, so control plus enter. Control plus enter will help you to create, or you click on go. So now we have created a database successfully. The next thing is to also create a table. So let's create a table in the database. So what name am I giving to the table? Let's use user. Um, and this table is going to have 5 columns. The ID, which is int, and I will do it auto increment. Okay, I also set it to a primary key. Okay, now the next item or the next column is going to be first name. So I say f name, and it's going to be data type of varchar. Okay, the next thing is going to be last name. So l name, also the same thing, varchar. Then the length should be 20. Then comma. The next thing is email address. So email. Uh, Let me start with capital letter. Email varchar. Yeah, 30 is okay. Next thing is what? Password. So password. Also varchar. The length be, I think 50 will be okay. Now the same thing, control plus enter. Okay, let's change here to, yeah, okay. Control plus enter. Oh, okay. I did not select the database. So let's highlight, copy the entire query, click on the graph. So now let's go to SQL, click on that and paste what we copied. Now you can hit Control plus enter again. Here we have created this table inside the graph. Okay, let's head to our Visual Studio. Now over here, we have to add um, the MySQL database reference. So on the reference, we click and then select. But before that, we have to install what we call MySQL connector. So MySQL connector can be found here. I have my here, GovTech. So it is these are the two files I want to install into my system. So these files, I will put them under the description so that you can also download them, or you can go to the web, search for MySQL connector. Just look at the name, search for it and download, so that you'll be able to also use it to connect to your lesson. So let's install it. Now I have installed mine. That is why we are seeing change, because I have installed it. So I will just cancel it. If I have not installed, you would have seen typical over there. So let's try this one too. Yeah, the same thing I have installed. So you see change, but I have to cancel it and then yes, finish. So you will install it, then you make sure it is installed very well. Now let's go back to Visual Studio to see how we can use this. Now, so you right click on the reference, then you select add reference. So this is what we are going to add, but to find yours, go to browse, then you navigate to your disk C. Yeah, so disk C is where we're going to get this this particular file. So yeah, then you look for program files x68. Yeah, double click on it to open. This is where the installation has been done. Now we are searching for MySQL. MySQL is here. Yeah, let's open MySQL. Now you click on this one, the first one, double click to open this, open that, and we search for mysql.data.dll. So click on it and click on add. Okay, here you see it has checked already. If it is not checked, you check yours, then click OK. So looking at the reference list, we have my SQL data also present here. So now let's add code. So we use the click event. Now before anything, let's import my SQL, because so import, let's do this, MySQL dot data dot MySQL client. Okay, now we are good to go. So let's come back here and then type we are going to connect this. We need a connection string. So to get a connection string, we have to go to the settings of the project, then we add our connection strings. So let's do that by clicking on project. Then you see the last item, you can see my Bene properties. Yours may be the name of your project, so yours will be the name of your solution or the project. So my project is Bene, that's why you can see Bene. So here we are adding a string, connection string. So the name, it means you have to give it a name of your choice, the name you are giving to your connection string. So I'll call my connection. I think on is connection. Okay, so you click here and select connection string. It is down there. Yeah, so here you click, it will change to application. Now the value, click in there. You see here, over here at the last end of it, this three dots, click on it, then you click on change to change this thing to MySQL database. So we have my Microsoft SQL Server. We are not using Microsoft SQL Server, we are using MySQL database. So select and click OK. So you'll be asked to enter the name of the database or the server. So the name of the server is what? Localhost. Then username, the default username is root. Password, we did not set any password. So here we are asked to select the database. Click here, your database will show, and this is what we created earlier on GAF. So this all are those that came with the MySQL database. So you select the GAF, you test and see whether it is correct. So now okay, we can click on OK, meaning everything is done, and this is our connection string. Yeah, this is our connection string. But we are not going to copy the connection string. We will go to the project, we will use it, it will be there, and then we use it. So now let's create connection. So we say we are creating a variable. So the variable, I will call it connection. So using connection as new MySQL connection. And MySQL connection is going to take one parameter, which is the connection string. So the connection string is also inside the settings of this application. So we say my.settings. The name of the connection string was what? Connection. So select it here. Now we come here again. So we have to write our query to proceed with it. So to write a query, I'm creating a variable. so that I will be able to save the query inside that particular variable. So I say dim query, then is should be assigned the value of insert into users. You know, the name of the table is users. Okay, so we are going to have these two brackets. So this is one values, and then this is the other one. So the first bracket contains the column's name. Let's look at the column's name. We have ID, we have first name, F name, L name, email, and password. The ID is auto increment, so we're not going to tamper with it. So we only start with the F name, comma, L name, comma, email, comma, and password. Now, values, we are going to define the values. So let's copy this and create variables for the values. So let's paste them here. So creating variables, it must begin with an @ symbol. So I'm going to start each this variable with @ so @f name, @l name, @email, and then @password. Now these are just variables. You can also do it in your own way. You can change the names. So let's use command, the SQL command. So say using command is a variable, so you can give it any name you are giving it. But as new MySQL command is not a variable, it's a class, and the argument is taking two. The parameter. Yeah, the argument should be 2. We're entering the first one is query, and the second one is the connection. Now here we go straight forward to use the command. So we say command dot parameters dot add with value, which is AWV. Just do that and press shift, then bracket open, and then you see it will auto complete, then bracket to be opened. So here we take a string value. So we say now we copy the first variable. So comma, comma, then that first variable, what is supposed to be stored in the first name. So we say txt first name dot text, comma, don't mind you, we have named our columns, our controls in the form. So that is how I'm doing all this. So the second one is going to be which is L name. So comma, txt last name. So the next thing, command dot parameters dot open with, add with value. So that one to add email. No, email is wrongly spelled. Okay, at email, then txt email dot text. Then the next thing, which is the last one, is the password. So the same approach, at password, comma dot txt password. So let's proceed to open the connection. So we say connection dot open. Now we execute query. So we say command dot execute non query. So this is what we are going to do, and this is what we seek to achieve. So let's come here. Let's add a label, so that after saving into the database, the label will give us a prompt that saved. So let's go back. The name of the label is label 1. So let's enter label 1 dot text should be equal to saved. Okay. So in this case, when we run and save data, the labeled 1, the text we are seeing top, the label 1 will change to save. So let's do this. Gaf underscore tech dot also at outlook.com. Then password, let's do 12345 6. So now after saving, you can see the saved is there. So let's check here. Let's write query to see what we have. So select all from users. So control plus enter, and we have it here, gaf tech, and but there was a problem with the password. So let's add we did not add this, and so we say dot text